we put our own people on to just a better life overall by speaking about the things that we want to talk about already.
And honestly, I think going back to like what is success, I think to me it is doing. There's a saying like, you're not truly successful until you do things for people that can never pay you back.
Cause they thought I'd never make it. See me fall down and they celebrate it. Learn how to win with no demonstration. Pop out the cool, gotta ventilate it. Cause I can't see shit out on 90.
Memorial Day weekend, like I avoid the beach at all costs, man. Like I just don't want any of that smoke. I know it's the dumbest weekend in Miami. Like, and I mean dumb because it's just like a lot of dumb shit happens from out of towners. Yeah. So I want no parts of the beach.
Yeah.
But just going back to your mom, like I think that it's always good to like just get away and disconnect. Because I feel like she probably in her head, maybe she didn't voice it because I don't know how the relationship is with you guys, but maybe like she could sit and be present, right, and reflect, right, and that's kind of what we want to touch upon today. Like it's just reflection, right? Like she's like, wow, like I'm here for one, you know, after all the shit that I've been through in life, I'm here and I'm here with my 2 grown sons, you know what I mean? And we're all relaxing, you know, like that's important, man.
Yeah, I like how you tied that in.
See that, right?
That.
You see that? I've been listening to it. I've been listening shout out to Brandon Marshall, man. He's really like a good
transition.
He's really you know what it is? He really knows how to keep everybody on topic, but what I've noticed is that he's taking the lead on direction of where the podcast goes, and the fact that like Fred Taylor, he's always quiet and observant. And you want me to turn it off? Yeah, I see you.
Like a fucking off.
So like I love their chemistry and I love that podcast because he knows how to transition the podcast in every direction that it goes. So even if they go off topic, he knows how to go with that topic will bring it back.
Yeah, but smoothly too. So it's not like, okay, so let's get back to this.
Yeah, no, it's not like
he just kind of says something and then it kind of just goes back by itself.
I love that. I love that podcast, man. Like shout out to that podcast because for one, I study it a lot. But again, it's like it helps us keep ourselves structured because I'm learning from Brandon Marshall. But also like, you know, just that cast is funny, man. Like Chad is just like the very laid back. Chad will have his points, but also Chad can be like very goofy and then like Fred is just like the clown, man. Like Fred is, I can just look at Fred and just start laughing.
That's
like he's just
the one with the fucking like his beard is like down here with the braids, right? With the long dreads. I think they're dreads. Yeah. I don't know, man. So shout out to them because they're doing their thing, man. I love what they're doing. So who would you relate to? Like who do you think you relate to most on that podcast? Like who would you be if you were on that podcast?
Probably Chad.
You think so?
I don't say Brandon Marshall because actually Brandon Marshall because Brandon Marshall is very passionate. So like when I talk and I get into shit in a couple episodes like we replay it, like certain things trigger me and I'll get very passionate about it and I won't let it go. But he's also very like he's just very direct and just like very like, okay, let me take control of us as a whole. So like you guys can talk and have your shine, but I bring us back and direct it, you know, and I kind of feel like I'm picking up more things from him.
Now, I know part of the answer to this, but in the past, because this episode is about reflection, and actually we didn't even
shout out to episode 15, man.
What the?
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll save that for the end. We'll save that for the
Okay.
Yeah.
Episode 15, guys.
Episode 15.
Got Flecha Studios. You got your boy Will. You got your boy Berto. Sorry for the late introduction, but we got a few of these in us.
Yeah, it's we took a break last week, guys. That's why we didn't drop an episode, but
yeah, I had family in town, so you know I wanted to spend as much time as I could with them. I don't really get to see them a lot, so yeah, we took a little break ski. Now we're back, and so yeah, as I was gonna ask you. I'm actually surprised I remembered that. Holy shit.
That's how I haven't said anything. I'm like, let me not say
progress. So, what episodes do you think that you were the most passionate in out of the 14 episodes that we've had?
From ours?
Yeah, I know one of them.
I don't want to sound cliche, but all of them. Why? Because but I said, I mean, I don't want to sound cliche. All right, but I mean,
what's one that you felt like afterwards you were like, yeah, I kind of like either went in or you were just like super.
See, here's the thing, and I'll say it on air. We recorded so much the first episode, and a lot of them didn't make it to the tape, that I don't know which. Can I pull it up? Can I pull it up so I can get a refresher on what the topics were, and I'll be like, oh, this one? Let me put it up.
Just on your phone.
It's the same shit. We already have YouTube on right now. I don't have the YouTube app, man. I'm a bum.
Yeah, you're mad corny for that. Who doesn't have the YouTube app?
I don't. What the fuck? Anyways, you can continue.
So
go ahead with yours.
I'm with mine.
Look, we're already here. We're top ranked on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
We out there.
23 subscribers. You heard you.
We up there. Double digits. It's all good. For me.
Wait for the second season drop on that. Apparel dropping soon. Wait, what was the question? Say it again.
Like which episode, like either one of us was most passionate in the sense of like we're really like fucking going, like going after it.
Yeah.
I think your why was mine because I talked about a lot of shit that I don't talk to or talk about with a lot of people.
Give me two, because there's 15. So
yeah,
give me two.
That one and I mean the relocating one I kind of went in with people being pussies and not like being in the comfort zone, but badass kids. I also had a lot of shit to say about fucking bum ass baby wives.
And we're still gonna go in on them after that. We're still gonna.
Damn, but even too anxiety.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was like. Give me. All right, so this.
All right, so I'll say the most
top three. Yeah, don't do so five.
Number one. Well, the one that I went the most was your why, because I definitely talked about a lot of shit, in my past. Two. I think two would be relocating. I went in on shit like that, on people not going out of their comfort zones.
Mm-hmm.
And then three, I don't know, man. Probably fucking.
I feel like this is not 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It would either be the anxiety one or the double standard, the Valentine's Day that we were talking about.
We're missing two on here. I don't know why, but
I think you have to click actually on prolific.
This is Prolific Podcast. You see?
So yeah, so it's 14, and then
that's not 14.
Yeah, it's 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, wow, you can come.
I paid for my diploma.
Is that kindergarten or?
No, I went to first grade and then I dropped out. Started selling drugs.
All right, so not gonna answer you because I pulled it up because I don't have a memory of.
You're talking to the one with the worst memory possible.
I know, but I told you I don't know why my shit hit. I haven't drank in a while, so this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually drinking tonight. I'm in a better mood, and cheers to.
Should we cheers to that?
Yeah, man, cheers.
Okay.
Of course, because we're grown ass men and we do what the fuck we want.
Bet.
With it.
Never with it.
Alright, so I'll give you my top three.
I think you spit a lot on the Love Live Life one, the Kobe one.
I did, but me personally, for me.
Oh my god. Like
for
me.
Where does your why? So your why, I think I was very passionate about that. I think we can both agree that was our favorite episode for the simple fact.
Visuals, content.
Everything. Yeah.
What were we drinking on that episode? Jama?
I think we were drinking Gold Label that day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think we were drinking Gold Label that day.
No intro music.
Yeah, you see? Gold Label. Yo, the lighting and everything was just fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about that after. Anyway, so your why, I think that was definitely one of my tops. I think Friends, how many of them? I went in also because you know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
You know how
funny shit.
It's not even funny. You know how I feel about like just friends, quote unquote friends and acquaintances, right?
Yeah.
So like I was one that always vouched for friends, and as I got older, I'm like, yo, certain people are not my friends. Certain things people do are not like friend material.
You learn how to categorize them.
So I learned, yeah, exactly. So I learned how to kind of like categorize them into like, all right, who's who and who's friends and who's family and who's just an acquaintance. And there's nothing wrong with acquaintances, but there just shouldn't be in that pocket. So friends, your why, and honestly, I think I really enjoyed the 90s one. Not for nothing. I mean, it's a little out of left field, but I love.
That was like our funnest episode.
And not for nothing, I think, based off of what a lot of people said, a lot of people said that might have been our best episode. And just in the sense of like that, not that we're not putting out valuable content, but just in the sense of like, you know, we're relaxed, we're having a good time, you know, and we're keeping people engaged.
Yeah, exactly.
So shout out to everybody that kind of commented on that.
Yeah.
You know, like we mentioned before, we don't want to sound too preachy.
Yeah.
And that episode was out of left field because at the end of the day, let's just put it out there, we didn't have shit to talk about. Yeah. So we're like, what the fuck are we gonna say?
Let's just talk about these
like,
things.
Tuesday morning, we're like, what the fuck are we gonna talk about? You know, so it's challenging, but you know, just looking back and reflecting on the reason why the 90s one for me makes it is because I love reflecting. You know,
same here.
Reflecting. Usually back then I would do it like at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I would normally do it. You know, just look at how my year goes and what I could have done better and all that shit. But we've all been through some crazy shit from 2020 to 2021, and it's still happening. It's still carrying on. So I've seen myself reflecting now, like literally, like every fucking week. It's not even every year. So I love reminiscing on the 90s and growing up. You know, like that to me, I'm just like, fuck, man. Like I said about your mom, you know, being here, being with her kids, like.
Yeah.
I'm going through my shit, man. Everybody goes through their shit, but I love life, man. Yeah. I love where I'm at.
But I feel like that with that, like when you are going through shit, like I say, everyone's different. Like sometimes if you're going through a tough time, it's like you just don't want to be bothered. Mm-hmm. But I've always felt like when I'm going through the toughest time, I like to be around people that I can reminisce with about past. Like, yo, man, remember back in the day when we did this? And it's like, it just lifts your spirit up in the sense that you're like, okay, we've all come from whatever, different backgrounds, but we have these memories together. You know what I mean? So you can just sit there and be like, bro, remember when we were in high school, we used to fucking do this shit, and it's like, damn, man, you just like reminisce on that, you know, the parties that we talked about in that episode, you know, basement parties, reggae parties, all kinds of shit. That has always been one of the biggest ways to knock me out of a funk, is just to talk with somebody and reminisce about old times or old stories and just be like,
and to honestly to keep you humble, think about this, right? Like every time you reminisce, right? You reminisce about something growing up. Didn't you notice that when we're growing up, we're probably like the brokest we've ever been, but we had the most fun. Yeah. I tell people this all the time, and a lot of people don't understand it. Like when you're broke, right? And not necessarily like you're like in poverty, but like when you go with you're with struggling parents that are trying to make ends meet, but you don't know financially they don't have a savings account. Mm-hmm. They don't have a emergency fund, right? But as a kid, like every time you linked up with your cousins or like your brother or just like go to the parties, the family parties, all that shit, like there was no money involved.
It was just out the way. That wasn't even like a thing.
It was just like, yo, like it was genuine, like a good time. Like I loved going out when I was a kid and playing outside. Yeah. That shit was fun. Yeah. I couldn't wait to get out of school because I was like, yo, I can't wait to go out and play manhunt or some shit like that. Yeah. So like when I reflect on those things, and again, honestly, I don't think it's my number one, but it's top 3. I love reflecting on growing up because it got us to where we're at now. Mm-hmm. And bro, honestly, I just feel like I said, man, like even we're gonna go through our shit, man. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna be stressed out again, you know, or about the shit that I got going on. But we're still here. You know what I mean? Like that's the overall big picture.
But I also feel too, that is also kind of like a key indicator that, you know, money does bring you options. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And with options, it comes happiness, it comes other things. So you can't say that money doesn't buy happiness. But if you look back at maybe a kind of past experiences that we've had, or like the kind of upbringing that we had, some of the best times were when we didn't have anything. You know what I mean? So
literally,
and maybe that's a mentality. I'm over here fucking slurring and shit. That was my gum actually.
Let me bring this.
My gum slid under my tongue as I said that. I should like. That's the kind of mentality that maybe we have because we experienced it. You know what I mean? So maybe someone who doesn't really kind of get it. But I know that looking back, like at those house parties as a kid, where you're like, oh, I'm gonna go see all my cousins and shit. And you like fucking go over there to get you all dressed up. You look all nice, and you just fucking ruin your clothes. You go outside
within seconds.
Play like Kill the Carrier or like fucking. Did you guys ever play Suicide when you were a kid?
What is that?
With the tennis ball. When you throw the tennis ball against the wall, and if you drop it, then you have to run to the wall.
Of course. Oh, that was burn ball. That was called burn ball.
We used to call it Suicide.
Yeah, burn ball.
So if like you throw it against the
peg the shit out of my cousins and my sister. My cousin Suli, they will. I didn't have no mercy.
Yeah.
It was no mercy.
It's like your girls, but I'm fucking drilling
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. So I've heard of Suicide, but we used to call it burn ball.
Yeah.
Throw it against the wall. If anybody think it, don't fumble that shit. Cause I'm right behind you, like.
If you grab it, you just fucking.
And it was the blue handballs, like the blue ones.
No, we used to play with tennis balls. Actually, no, we used to play. The thing is, we never had. I played with the blue balls growing up.
Oh, Jesus.
I played with blue balls. You know what I'm saying? But we mostly played with tennis balls. And we would just go to the dollar store or the Dollar General or some shit like that, and then go get like a little 3-pack for like fucking a couple dollars, plus tax. But inflation. But I remember like I forget what the rule was, but if you tried to catch it or something like that, and I don't know, I can't remember, or you did something to like hold somebody back so they couldn't run and touch the wall, then you had to
stand on the wall,
facing the wall, and everybody that's playing would have a turn to hit you. The worst was getting hit in the back of the fucking leg.
The worst, it wasn't even a direct hit. The worst was the ones that just skinned you. For us, at least. The worst were the ones, I don't know, did we do hands out? Or I think it was straight down?
No, mine are straight down, yeah.
But the worst were the ones that catch you on the outside, because it'll like skid off and it'll actually burn you. Like a hit is just like, you'll feel the hit, but like the ones that, bro.
No, the contact hits were the ones that, like if they hit you in the back of the knee or the calf or some shit, bro, those things, that stung so bad.
What was it? What was the rule? I'm trying to figure out the rule. I think it's if you caught it like in midair, like if you threw it to the wall and it didn't bounce, like if you threw it and then somebody caught it in the air, I think it was, or if they pegged you before you got to the wall, I think you have to get on the wall. Right? Something like that.
I can't remember.
And that was a long time ago.
And it's funny
Jinx.
because Jinx, you owe me a fucking spritzer.
What was the shit that's been like Jinx, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something like that?
I was going to say Jinx, you owe me a soda.
So it's like a I don't know, like whenever you jinx somebody, they used to say something after that, but I forgot what it was.
My upbringing was always Jinx, you owe me a soda. Some corny shit.
I don't know. I mean, we're all fucking kids.
Jinx, you owe me a blowjobs like a blind.
Wait, what?
What do you know about this? I watched Channel 99, Mom.
Yo,
Black Box.
Yeah, yo.
That was another thing too. Like fucking talking about reminiscing. I remember at the house parties, we used to always have them at my aunt's house, which was in the fucking projects. And I'm not gonna say where, because everyone will know where the fuck I'm talking. Actually, they probably already know where I'm talking. But my cousins had the black box, and all the family would be downstairs playing dominoes, getting lit, and then all of us like around 11:30, we'd all go up because at midnight is when the porno would come on at Channel 99.
Yeah. The Playboy was Playboy.
Yeah. So we'd like go up there, like, oh, we're gonna go play video games, and, like fucking bag gun and shit. Run upstairs, shut the door, lock it, put some shit in front of it. Because my aunt used to just bust in sometimes.
And put the mute on.
Put the mute down, volume down and mute. And then all of a sudden, like around like 11:59, then the commercial would come on. You knew the commercial. And fucking like, yeah, so you guys ready or whatever, and then like, it'd be all squiggly and shit.
I was gonna say, did you ever actually watch it? Because our shit was
it was always squiggly.
It
was squiggly, and then it would just go, and you'd get like a clear photo.
Get
like a quick little nip slip, and then it would go straight back to little, and we'd be like, oh shit. But my cousins were like super young, and they were always the ones that had porn first, and like we'd go over their house, and they would have it hidden in their mattress. And for anytime you wanted to watch porn, or anytime, first of all, you would go to their house and you even want to like put a PlayStation game in, you'd have to check check the fucking thing first because it was like mostly porno. So you're like, oh,
VHS, right?
They would put like Grand Theft Auto or something on it so that their mother didn't know it, and you put it in, it's like fucking some you're like, oh shit. But those were another reminiscing days, and it's like we didn't even realize that we were in the fucking projects,
Yeah,
like
that's
in a very bad neighborhood. That we would go outside and like go play basketball at the park, and like there would be shootouts, or there'd be people like chasing custies that trying to rob them for drugs, and we're just like, oh, okay, cool, you know what I mean, like whatever. And like now you think about it, like damn, but those were fun ass times. Like I can remember like throwing snowballs at cars and shit, and like motherfuckers come out with guns and shit, like I'll fucking murder you, and I'm like ah, like running and shit, like, ah.
Running zigzags.
And we didn't give a fuck, but it was just like that was
our world, man. That was our world, and that's what I'm saying. I think it's good to reflect just in life in general. Like life is not always about like, yo, what have I accomplished? You know, a lot of times,
which is, you know, you can't even lie. I mean, I feel like that sometimes. Where you know, it's human nature.
Our age is a little different because at our age we're like, all right, you know, we're trying to get to that very next big step, right?
Yeah.
But when you think about it, even at our age, there's sometimes that I wake up and I try to go outside and just like literally just hear the birds chirping, and not necessarily
the little things.
Yeah, the little things. It's like the free shit, you know, all the good things in life come for free, whatever, that kind of quote. Yeah. And I just really think like, yo, I tell my daughters this all the time. I'm like, all this material shit in the house that I have for you guys, like, yo, that honestly that shit doesn't mean anything because I've been broke and I've been happy, and I've had money and I've been unhappy. Yeah. So like it just goes to show you that you have to check yourself, right? And keep yourself humble because look at where you came from and look at what you had, and you were the fucking, even through the struggle that we weren't aware of, right? Like, did you ever really think that you'll make it here? Like, honestly, I never would have thought that I actually would have changed. I used to call the person that I am now a sellout when I was a kid because I would be like, this is what I see. I see people on the block, you know what I'm saying? I see kids, you know, like, it's like shit, talking to their moms like shit and not doing good at school. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
and if you leave the hood, then it's like, oh, so you're just, so you think you're better than me.
Yeah. So like, but the problem is that obviously we didn't get taught that's the objective. The objective is you want a better quality of life. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be wealthy.
Yeah, you don't have to be a billionaire.
Everybody's definition of success is different.
Yeah.
Like, the definition of success for me is really like, how much time and freedom do I have?
Yeah.
I can make $90,000 a year.
While being happy.
I can make $90,000, $80,000, $70,000 a year, and I can be happy. Why? Because I got into a point where I've made more than that, and I bought everything that I wanted. I've traveled everywhere I wanted to go. So once you do all that, you're like, damn, that's it, you know? Like, so it's really not about a certain dollar amount. It's really about like, yo, like, look at the shit that you have before, like, reflect, yo, like, sit yourself down in a room by yourself and be like, yo, like, it's really crazy. Like, you're really here. You know what I mean?
And I feel like, I don't know, I cherish, like, memories more than anything, like, going somewhere and doing some wild shit, you know, and just be like, damn, I remember when I did this, you know what I mean, like, not necessarily like, oh, I remember when I bought my first, you know, new car, you know what I mean, like, yeah, it's something that's a staple in my head, because it's like, that was a transitioning period in my life, I went from driving a fucking hoopty, and actually having a car that, like, I don't have to be like, please turn on, please turn on, please turn on.
Oh, I've been there.
Yo.
Been there.
I'll talk about mine. I used to have I had a Toyota Solara in college that I bought on, how would you, it was pretty much, no, it wasn't it wouldn't be layaway, because damn dude, that's crazy.
Let it out.
For many people that don't know, I used to work at a gas station. I used to pump gas.
I think we know that. You said it.
Did I?
Yeah. You said it a couple times.
Really?
Yeah, because remember you said it about the guy that there was a shootout in a gas station and you were pumping the guy's gas one time and some guy got jumped in front of you. And like,
okay, yeah.
So you mentioned it. I don't know if you want to details.
So yeah, so a lot of people that don't know, that maybe just listen to the podcast, maybe. I used to pump gas at a gas station, and it got me through college. You know, it helped me pay through college myself because I paid for my own college, and the guy that owned the gas station sold cars as well. So you know, I pretty much like gave him like a little down payment, and then he was like, "You can just pay it off because you're already working for me."
Yeah.
So I paid it off, mind you, that's another thing too, like reflecting at me working at a gas station and, you know, people looking at me like, this dude's a bum. You know what I mean? Like, don't you want to do something with your life? I'm like, I'm in college. Like, but, you know, and I understand, because the first initial thought you see someone pump gas, you're like, this is probably, you know, a drug addict or some shit. He's probably a felon.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He's not probably like, he's like, oh, he's 18, he's probably done like 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, what? I was incarcerated at 3?
Like, okay, carry the 2.
Yeah, like.
You know. So, you know, thinking about that, and in those times I was making money, I was hustling, you know what I mean? I was actually making pretty good money there, and a lot of people, you would think, you know.
What age was this?
At 18, no, I was in my 20s, bro. I was over 21, I was probably 23.
Yeah.
But it was quick, easy money, it was cash, you know what I mean? So,
fuck Uncle Sam.
You know, it's just like, don't say that too loud. So, but yeah, so that's neither here nor there. But, you know, reflecting on that too, that was a very rough time because I was very embarrassed that I'm actually working at a gas station.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But all I kept telling myself was like, bro, you're doing this to pay yourself to college. Just keep fucking pushing, you know? And there was a few times that kids that went to my college pulled in there. It was a full service gas station, and I'd be like, oh my God.
Fuck.
And then they'd look at me like, this home dude from that fraternity or whatever, and I'd just be like, fuck, dude. Now everyone's gonna think I'm a bum, but I gotta do what I gotta do. But reflecting on that car, the car I had was I bought it from him, a Toyota Solera. I wanted it so bad because in Providence, they don't do it here in Miami too much, but I don't know, most likely in New York. But say you get a Toyota, you know, a Toyota Camry, and it's a '98, but you put the 2005 rims on it. You know what I mean? So it's like it looks.
Come on,
fresh.
Show it to a Dominican. You know, Dominicans are known for this shit.
So what they used to do in Providence, they used to get the Toyota Solera, and they would get the Toyota Highlander or the Toyota, Nissan Versa. I think it's a SUV, but the rims were fire, and they put a low profile tires. I was like, oh my God.
Swap it out, yeah.
So I got that car, and then, bro, that shit was 11. My muffler was barely hanging on, and there was like times I'd like turn it. That was the most reliable car, but there'd be times I'd be like, please get me down the road. I just need to get to work, I need to get to school or whatever. But reflecting back on that, you know what I mean? Like, those were good times in my life, you know what I mean? Obviously, I remember when I got my first new car, but during those times, I was just like, yeah, man, I'm fucking chilling. Like, I'm living, you know, I know where I'm gonna go, and I was just in the moment, you know what I mean? And I knew that, you know, little by little, I'm gonna keep making progress, but I never really realized what kind of situation I was in until I transitioned over to the next level, if that makes sense.
And you were in it.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, now I have a new car, and then like once I got used to it, then I'm like, damn, I used to drive this whip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And be like praying that I didn't break down. You know, sometimes you forget.
Yeah.
But.
And that's why I say it's good to reflect because I'm very like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, right? And then sometimes you're like, yo, like, when I was. So my first car was a '93 Accord.
Stick?
Box. Stick shit.
Fuck up the gears and shit.
I bought the car not knowing how to drive stick shift. So I bought the car for $1,000. I used to work in Steak and Shake. Everybody, whoever knows me from high school knows it. I used to work in Steak and Shake from the time I was 17 years old. So at 17, I started working at Steak and Shake part-time. It was a little, they call it a restaurant, but the shit is a fucking burger shack with waiters. Whatever, but I would be making like, yeah, exactly. It's exactly like a Johnny Rocket, right? So I would make like 100 to 150 bucks a day. So I'm like, yo, this is not for nothing. I'm like making like $600-700 a week, 5 days a week. So I'm like, all right. So there was a dude selling that Accord, and I was like, damn, this shit is only $1,000. I'm like, that's not crazy bread. Like that's if I work 7 days, I'll make that $1,000, right, cash. So I did it, right, boom, 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 boom. But when I got there, I noticed it was stick shift, and I was like, fuck. I've only driven stick shift in arcade. So he was like, yo, here's the keys, here's the title. I was like, all right, cool. Yo, I'll never forget this shit. It was like a Monday night. I gave this dude the cash, and I drove this shit. Mind you, my house was like 9 blocks away. It wasn't far. And I put this shit on first because I remember doing it from the video games. And my shit was just like, I was like, I'm gonna break the transmission.
You just hear this nigga Berto coming on the block. Wow. You know when someone.
This shit turned off on me. So here's another part. So my little townhouse that my mom had, by Sunset was like on a little hill. Oh. So imagine me trying to get a car,
a stick
shift car up a little hill without driving through my front fucking living room. So yo, I tried. Yo, man, I did this shit for like 7 times and I couldn't get it up there. Pause. So I was like, I left the shit across the driveway and it was like across the sidewalk. But I look back and I'm like, yo, I was really a fucking kid. Yeah. And what I did was every morning, first of all, I woke up and I saw my car, I see hello loud. And I was like, yo, I gotta move this shit because the garbage is coming tomorrow, like in 2 days. Yeah. So like, this shit is blocking. But like we went through that and that's what gave us the fuel to be like, when we got it, we're like, yo, I love this shit. Cause this was like back in the, what do you call this shit? The Fast and the Furious era. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna put my shit on rims, I'm gonna drop it, I'm gonna do all this. Mind you, I'm working a stick and shit. I was like, how am I gonna fund this shit? And I had kids at 18 when I was going through that. So I was like, how am I gonna fund this shit? And the same shit, I got the Accord, but the shit with the shit with Dominicans, when you said that about the Solara, Dominicans would get Honda Civics and put the Honda Accord, like the Honda Accord EX rims on it. That was like the shit, yo. So whatever, that's what I did, whatever. But I feel like that's what gave us the fuel. Cause once we got it, we're like, damn, we really did it. You know, like, but we didn't really like, we didn't pat ourselves in the back and all this shit. We're just like, it was like, oh shit. Yeah. You know, like, cause again, I don't know about you, but I didn't have guidance. Yeah. Like I told you before, I didn't have guidance growing up. So when I accomplished something to me, I was just like, I'd just be like, damn, thank you, God. Like, that's why I started believing in God. I was like, yo, like, I'm not meant to be one of these hood niggas, like, and stay on the block. Like, I keep trying to do something and I do it, and I get that satisfaction, and I'm like, damn, that shit felt good. What's next? But now I catch myself in the like, yo, you're never satisfied. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, reflection is good to give you, like that energy that you might be looking for, and the answers that you might be looking for. So whenever you're feeling depressed or anything like that, and anxiety, sit back and just think. Like, just literally just sit in a room and just be like, yo, take away the material shit, right? What have you accomplished? How do you feel for when you've gotten to this age, you're still breathing, right? That's an accomplishment, especially after COVID. What else have you gotten through that maybe might be just too hard on yourself, and just be like, yo, you gotta chill. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, first, like, being never satisfied, it's a gift and a fucking curse. Because it's like, yeah, you're chilling, you know you want to keep leveling up, but then it's like, I'm the kind of person where I never sit back and really like, okay, bro, like, you really used to pump gas. You know? Like, now you're a lot more comfortable than what you were before. Granted, sometimes, certain things happen, or certain, conversations will make me sit back and reflect and be like, okay. But yeah, I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say.
And Will is back, ladies and gentlemen.
No, but like the gift and the curse shit, it's really, I don't know, man. I'm trying to get a hold of it. Mm-hmm. Kind of being able to sit back and actually be like, yo, bro, like, and it's funny because I really haven't done it in a while until the last conversation. I don't think it was the anxiety episode. We were like, you're doing the most that you've ever done, and I actually like sat there and I was like, this is true. Like, I really don't, I didn't realize it. Yeah. I'm like, I really am doing the most, and I'm at the most productive. And I put a post, like, what I put, like, it was like lit as fuck, something as fuck, whatever. And I put like, I'm in my prime right now. Like, and I would never say something like that before, because I've always been like humble, like, yo, I want to be humble, I don't want people to think that I think that I'm the shit or whatever. And like, I don't know, I saw that and I was like, fuck all that humble shit, like, that's, like, I've been humble my entire life. Yeah. And people, if you know me, you know I'm not a cocky.
And even then, not to interrupt you, but even then, just to touch on what you're saying, even you saying that doesn't mean that you're not humble.
Yeah, but
you gotta gotta pump yourself up sometimes. So if you're saying like, yo, like, I'm lit, like, yo, I'm really doing XYZ, like, you're just pumping yourself up. So it has nothing to do with being humble. I don't think so.
I mean, that's just how I've always been, man. Yeah. I've always been very just like down to earth, like just almost too humble. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, this humble shit can almost get to the point where you're too, like, you are too humble, bro. Like, you need to fucking get some balls and be like, nah, like, I got this shit. Like, this is mine. And I've never been like that. I've always been like, nah, whatever's gonna be meant for me is gonna come to me. You know what I mean? And I still am like that, but I'm like, no, like with that post, I was like, no, I am in my fucking prime. Like I really feel like I am in my prime. And when I felt that, I was like, that's when I started getting all that, like the kind of emotions, like, damn, where the fuck was I, you know, a few years ago or 10 years ago or whatever. Like obviously, you know, through time you level up, but I'm like, I really have come a long way, and I could have went a totally different fucking route. And
you can still go completely totally
different route. You still can.
It's still possible.
I mean, I feel like I'm at a point where I'm mentally strong enough to know that I can't allow that. Granted, who the fuck knows? Maybe somebody drugs me with meth or some shit like that and end up a crack.
And you might like it. It's possible. It's possible.
No, fuck that.
I think about this shit all the time. I'm like, man, listen. The only thing I've ever done is obviously like weed and shit, and you know, weed for certain things is good. I don't knock it. Anxiety and all that shit, and relaxing and all that shit. No, for all I know is that weed is. Nobody's ever killed anybody off of weed.
Yeah.
There's people that drunk drive and all that shit, and weed has never made somebody want to kill somebody, right? But what if it does happen? You know, like what if from one day to the next you just try something, right? Like, let's say you try mushrooms and you hallucinate and you love the feeling. You're gonna become addicted to the mushrooms? Like, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible, but you have to by now know yourself. Like, okay, do you have that addictive personality? You know, I know I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I've tried mushrooms. I've tried LSD. I've tried ayahuasca. I've done, you know, other things, and I don't feel like I've never felt like, oh my god, I need that again.
Yeah.
You know,
even though you might enjoy the feeling.
Yeah, you know, it's cool, it's fun, or whatever. You know, certain things you're doing it for certain reasons. For me. Personally, you know, I did them for spiritual reasons or for creative reasons. I wasn't just like, all right, I want to get fucking high. It was just like, I want to tap into something else that I can't do naturally.
Yeah.
That's it. And if I ever felt like, bro, you need to, you know,
be
careful. Don't do that because you might get, you know, you might like it and you might, no. I just know myself, like, I can experience something and be like, okay, I liked it, I didn't like it, move forward.
Yeah. And choose when to do it.
Yeah, and choose, like, if one day it comes where someone's like, yo, I have LSD, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. And if I don't, I'm like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like, oh shit, you have LSD? Like, I'm just start getting all fucking itchy. I know myself. Yeah. So if someone did give me meth, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't.
I don't even know if I want that smoke, but.
I'm just talking shit, dude. First of all, I don't even want to be around anybody that even has meth on them. Fuck that.
I don't even know what fucking meth looks like in real life. Like, real shit. Like, I'd be like, this is what it is?
Is this weed, guys? like well, fuck.
How do you think? So we dropped a couple questions earlier today on IG about the podcast. So reflecting the podcast, I feel like cheers to us.
Cheers.
Because we're on 15 episodes. Like, we were just talking about this shit. Well, we've been talking about it for like a year, but we really executed. So fast forwarding to May 25th. May 25th, we're 15 episodes in. You know, we stuck to our guns and we made it happen. And honestly, like, you know, we gotta, like you said, we gotta reflect and just, you know, right now we're looking at a fucking ring light that I bought in Amazon. We got the camera on a fucking bar stool, on a softball bucket, $17 that I still haven't read, and then a Domino's. But, you know, like, we really, to me, like, I want to take this moment and just say, like, I'm proud of us because we really executed. And, you know, we went through ups and downs in the beginning, trying to figure it out where we're at with it as far as, like, commitment and everything. But, you know, we made it. Like, not that we made it, like, in the sense of...
But we're doing it.
And doing is better than talking about it. You know, so... like, my 2 cents when it comes to the podcast, like, yes, we're starting season 2, so that's the bomb that we wanted to drop.
Yeah, so this is the last episode, guys.
This is the last episode of season 1.
We're going to take a little break and revamp. And
taking a little break in the sense of, you know, we're going to get ourselves together. We want to get better. We want to bring more to the table. Yeah. We're going to come up with a new look. You know, things are going to change, right? And yes, we're gonna have people over. We're gonna have women on here to get their perspective.
Yes.
Yes. Bad.
Yes. Oh my God. Let's talk about.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait to fucking.
I can't honestly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that I want to talk about with women that it's controversial, and you know, some women get kind of snippy about it. But I want to talk to a woman that's actually open to talk about certain things that are controversial.
And not even women, just people in general.
Yeah,
we want to get people that have expertise in certain things that can bring something to the table to say, hey, listen, like let's talk about this.
Knowledge.
Yeah, I get it. The first episode, we're trying to figure all this out. I'm sorry, the first season. Yeah. We're trying to figure all this out, and
let's reflect on that though.
Yeah.
I mean, like right now, let's cherish this moment, because I mean, like I know that we're gonna get to the point where we're gonna laugh that we have this fucking setup.
No, I'm already laughing. I'm looking at it.
Hey,
like, they don't look at it. I'm looking at it.
We're laughing. You don't see it, but we do. But it's like, okay, we started off. First of all, I never liked being on camera in the sense of like videos. I never liked my voice. So like at first it was always weird. And so like now, like 15 episodes in, I feel a little bit more comfortable. I can just sit here and talk to you, and I'm not like, holy shit.
Yeah, there's a camera there, like.
Yeah, and then what's my voice sound
like normal.
And I swear too much.
Yeah.
Which was another problem. But into the point I was like, you guys can go SMD. So, I feel like within the 15 episodes, we started off like, slow. Like you said, we had our commitment, whatever. We had our little thing. And then finally, it's like, okay, like let's just do it. You know what I mean? And right now, this is nothing. Like to us, or to maybe to somebody else, is nothing. And then people can critique it and be like, oh, well, you guys only have 22 subscribers, whatever. Yeah. It's like, all right, cool, but we're actually doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to be like, oh, well, that's all you guys have. It's like, okay, well, then just do it yourself then. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you can make a fucking 500,000 subscriber podcast, then just go do it.
And if you do it, good for you. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Everything
like, fucking kudos. Like, I have no animosity. Fucking cheers. But right now we may not think that we're putting out quality stuff or something like that, but then it's like there's other people that are putting out other stuff that is not up to what we're doing. So it's like we can't be too hard on ourselves in a sense. And it's still kudos to them for even doing it. You know what I mean? With limited resources. So, I just want to take that time to just bring that on.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, where are you going?
No, I wanted to mention it because like you're talking about the 15 episodes and shit like that. So I'm just thinking of like the time leading up into this episode. It was like, what should we do? Should we do it? Should we not? Okay, let's record. All right, bro, like, we had our little whatever. So it's like, all right, are you committed? Am I committed? What are we doing? Are we not going to do this or we're not? I don't want to put my fucking effort into it, and it's nothing. Like, I've always been super, not perfectionist, but I just like for whatever my name is tied to be legit. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to fucking be bullshitting here, and people are like, oh, Will has this corny ass podcast, and I'm just like, hey guys. So that's what I just wanted to like bring that in and just mention that.
Yeah, I mean, and we're gonna carry this on regardless. I feel like at this point, I think we can both agree that it's just like, regardless, yes, the viewers are very important. So shout out to like all the loyal viewers. You know who you are. You know, we can mention my cousin Suli, my cousin Dre from Brooklyn, your brother your brother that's on the podcast. He's the one that dropped the video. Flash. Jojo, like we have loyal people. My sister, Jakira from the Bronx. Like we can sit here and make a list, but at the end of the day, like we said it from the beginning, it's impact, right? So whether we have 20 subscribers, 20 million subscribers, at the end of the day, like we're starting something that we wanted to carry on for years and years to come, and everybody starts off small, and we just hope that our experiences and our personalities and characteristics and our relationship that we have can attract people to come here and just share their 2 cents on a couple of things, like.
And maybe the way that you and I say or talk about something resonates with that person. Yeah. Opposed to maybe a podcast that's like they're talking legit or like statistics and stuff like that.
Yeah, because after a while, it's very obvious, right? Like we can look at politics, right? Somebody comes and they offer us a $5 million deal, right, with Spotify. You know what's going to happen? They're going to start telling us what to talk about, and then it's going to become scripted. Yeah. I would love that $5 million.
I'm not saying no.
I'm not saying no. Spotify, Apple, YouTube, whoever you want. Appleton, fucking Jameson, whoever, everything that we drink. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, like, our biggest focus right now is just impact, because I've been through a lot of shit. I'm 34. You're 31. You've been through a lot of shit. We want to bring in people that are surrounded by us, that been through a lot of shit, right? And just voice everything that is obvious, you know, that people don't want to talk about. We'll talk about it. We got a mic. Let's create our own platform as minorities, right? Like, people have these platforms. Like I said, I love I Am Athlete. I love their podcast, but they're all athletes. They already have, because they're athletes, they already have a platform. So you know what we got to do? Exactly, and the money. So you know what we do? We buy a stool from Wayfair. We get a bucket of softballs.
Dick's Sporting Goods?
Dick's, no, actually, I got the bucket from Home Depot. I got the
balls
from Dick's.
Balls from Dick's.
The
pause,
books,
no pause.
Pause and no pause. The books that I haven't read, all from Amazon. The dominoes that I got from my housewarming party that I still haven't played with. And I got the ring light from Amazon. So we get that, and we create our own platform, because this is how we break generational curses, and this is how we put our own people on to just a better life overall, by speaking about the things that we want to talk about already.
And honestly, I think, going back to like what is success, I think to me it is doing, there's a saying, like, you're not truly successful until you do things for people that can never pay you back.
Yeah. Right.
So I feel like I've always wanted to be the person that impacts someone that can impact that person's entire family, and putting people on and just like opening doors for people. I feel like, to me, that is success. It's like you get to a level of status or power or wealth or whatever that you can literally change someone's life for the better.
Yeah, and you know, and I'll leave it. I'm pretty sure we're timed up.
Yeah,
what I'll leave mine on my last 2 cents for the final episode of season 1. Season 1. Let me not say final episode. You're like, oh my god. For the final episode of season 1, just on the topic of reflection itself, you know, I think that at the end of the day, like, besides the camera and all this shit, like, because we don't care about that. You know, like I said, we had this conversation all the time. I think what really matters and what lives on besides your name, like, if God forbid anything happens to me tomorrow, like, how will people remember Berto? Like, I want people to remember, like, yo, like, this thing was authentic. You know what I mean? Like, he talked real things. So, like, how did he impact me? The podcast. You know, like, how he was as a person. Did he check up on me? You know, did I have to reach out to him for a favor, or was it something where it's genuine, where he offered? Like, these are things we got to do that there's no price and there's no cost attached to it.
Yeah.
The problem is that a lot of people nowadays, you know, they start taking family, friends, colleagues, work, everything as a, what am I going to get back?
Exactly.
And honestly, guys, like, trust me, take this from a guy that I literally, my life started at 12 when my parents split, and it got more intense when I had kids at 18. Yes, you have to worry about finances, you have to pay bills, but guess what, guys? Bills are gonna always fucking be here. They're not going anywhere. So focus on being a good person. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's what I try to go with, like, to bed at night and, like, sleep when I try to sleep. Yeah. It's like, yo, how was I, like, how did I impact anybody today? You know what I mean? So I'll leave you with that. Like, that's my whole thing on reflection. I just try to be a better person. I hope this platform that we're creating can open up doors that, even if we still have 23 subscribers 5 years from now, my daughters, you know, anybody that's seeing this and be like, yo, this is a video from 5 years ago, what's this? And they start a platform, hopefully they can, you know, benefit from this. Exactly. And that's it. And I'll leave you guys with that on my end.
I mean, going off of what you just said, I've always felt like you can, and this can go for relationships, it can go for friendships, it can go for anything. You can sit there and buy somebody everything they want, you know, wine and dine on whatever the fuck, but that shit kind of fades out. Like, people never forget how you made them feel. Mm-hmm. So if we can be that for people, you know what I mean, and that's how I always carry myself, like my energy, my vibe. It's like I always want people to just know that this dude, you know, Will makes me feel like when I'm with him, I feel good. Like I don't feel like well, where am I at or whatever. Like I make people feel good about themselves, about everything. Just like talk to them, have meaningful conversations. I don't want to be there like, oh, so like, yeah, so how's the weather? You know, be on some corny shit. Like I want to have like deep conversations with people because I know that the people that I always remember, I always know like this person made me feel a certain type of way, and I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
I'll forget about the times you took me out to eat or some shit like that. That's all bullshit. That's all fluff. But the fact that you made me feel this certain type of way, that I can never forget.
Yeah.
You know, so
some memories you create.
Exactly. So I feel like that is my motive in life, is to just change lives for the better and be able to have that status or that platform or that option, ability, whatever, to be able to be like, I'm gonna put you on and I'm gonna change you and your family's life. You know what I mean? And that, and just be a genuine person that people, like you said, like he's authentic. Like if someone says like, oh, who's this kid? Like nah, he's
like what he's saying is who he is.
Yeah,
you know,
like there's no bullshit with him.
There's no putting on the show.
Yeah, so like he's a good dude. So, I'll leave you guys with that. That's the closing of episode 15.
Episode number 15. Let's go.
Season 1 is in the books. We decided to just take some time off to make this better for you guys because, right now to us, the quality and certain things are not up to what we would like. Granted, it's better than a lot of other shit that's out there, but it's just, we want to put out better shit, you know what I mean? So we just figured, okay, let's end this episode. This will be the ending of the first season. We'll start another season, a second season very soon. Come back with a different look and be more structured, more organized for you guys. Because I know for a fact, I can't fucking stay on track. You give me something, I'd start talking about something else, and I'm like,
that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, so he's the Brandon Marshall, I'm the psycho. So it's, we want to just start being able to structure it more, so it's more, we are entertaining you, but there's also, it's not like scattered, where you're just like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. So that's the plans. We have other ideas in motion for apparel, sponsorships, all this other shit. So
a lot of good things in the works, man.
Yeah, so we're just we're moving up.
We're moving on up. So I'm out of a drink, but
you want me to pour some in there? I don't have anything.
I'm gonna say it.
Oh, hold on.
Cheers.
Maybe I was just drinking wine.
But
yeah.
No, actually, hello.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
end of episode 15, end of season 1. We will see you guys very soon. We'll be looking a little bit different. And
different look, different everything coming next season. We're focused, and we want to just
bring the hot fire.
Dial on.
So yeah, until then, you guys be safe, man. We wish you guys the best. Good energy, good vibes. See you soon. Coming up. Can I do it?
Do it.
Yes. Cause they thought I'd never make it. See me fall down and they celebrate it. Learn how to win with no demonstration. How about the cool got a ventilated? Cause I can't see shit out on 95. Prolific little bitch, I see dollar signs. The shit I done seen got me traumatized. Tryna clear all the pain in my mama's eyes. And my daughter, she watching me closely. Tryna better myself like I should be. Had to chill out with all of that street shit. I came a long way, but don't push me. Rest in peace to my bro, it ain't right, dawg. 20 bands, nothing that's light sauce. Hit the booth and I turn all the lights off. Gotta get in my zone. Gotta turn on my phone, cause all them smiles is fake and I see it. Bad guy, if I got out, I'll be it. Baptized, but I'm living with demons. Trap vibes, so I'm cashing out Neiman's. No face, swear these bitches is heathens, but I don't need them though. Keep my moves quiet, you don't need to know. My new tools silent. Cause they thought I'd never make it. See me fall down and they celebrate it. Learn how to win with no demonstration. How about the cool got a ventilated? Cause I can't see shit out on 95. Prolific little bitch, I see dollar signs. The shit I done seen got me traumatized. Tryna clear all the pain in my mama's